Hello everybody and welcome back to Zielonka. We have made it all the way into August since the last time we were here together. And as such, it is harvest season. I hope you all forgive my pun of a stream title. It was supposed to be a question. As in, I guess it's August, it's harvest time, but I try to make it say August. It's harvest time. A little cheesy. Maybe a little bit of a dad joke pun. How you doing, Alex? Welcome to the stream. Trying to get things prepped and move forward. So when we have our New Year's live stream, we'll be ready to rock and roll with our root crop harvest. There's no baling. No, there's nothing to bale. We are growing sorghum, potatoes, beets, carrots, and parsnips. And we are basically making soup with potatoes, parsnips, red beets, and carrots. And we're making a fortune out of that soup. Oh, that's not lined up anymore. Stewie, the map's holding out well. We're just keeping within our keeping within our means here. We like to play a little bit more small scale. Oh, it's really not that bad. We're going to be moving into preserves this time around. Why can I not? Oh. This doesn't tip side back? Okay. You can tell it's been a while since I've used this. Back, let's go sell some soup. We're sitting at 150,000. See if we can't, I don't think we're going to be able to break 200,000 today, but maybe. Maybe. We're lucky. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Stewie, have you been playing on the map? What course of agriculture did you take? For those that were watching last night, I will report back that we did get out tonight, and we did trade in the wife's jacket that I got her for Christmas with a wife-approved Tractor Supply jacket. She's like, man, I really wish we could get this one because it's like a purple. I'm like, what? It's gray. She's like, no, it's purple. I'm like, this is gray. So I asked my son, I'm like, what color is this? He said, it's kind of a purple. I'm like, you're just saying that because your mom said it. Then we got him a mattress because he's graduating from a twin bed to a full size bed. Big day there. See the world of being colorblind all the time. The jacket she ended up getting, I would call it a light red, but who knows? I heard her mumbling something about it being purple too. I'm like, good God, woman, everything isn't purple. How can something that's gray be purple? Something that's red be purple? No, it's not possible. Then we had a nice dinner out at the sushi bar. What did you all have for dinners? Here we go, load them up, move them out. Where are we selling this stuff? Farmer's market. Supermarket. Supermarket's where it's going. Pizza Hut. You know what? They make some pretty good pizza. I like their pan pizza. You gonna get any more? One more pallet. 2 more pallets. A lot of potato pellets. Oh, we might. The way this is going, we just might have more than 200,000. $10,000 liters of triple soup, 12,000 liters of carrot, 14,000 liters of parsnip, 6,000 liters of potato, and 14,000 liters of red beet soup. Potato soup is my favorite of those 4 soups. Plus, it'd be the only soup of that 4 I've ever had. Bacon meatballs. Everything's better with bacon. You know what? There should be bacon sushi. Sushi wrapped in bacon, #1 bestseller. Hands down if it existed. Chowder is just potato soup with other junk in it. So, there's that. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go now. Oh yeah, look at that. $60,000. That's how you do it. That's on hard. I don't know what you think chicken or potato soup is. Potato soup definitely is not broth based. If you've had a broth based potato soup, that's just potatoes in a stew. That doesn't count. I wonder how much money we're gonna make when we do the preserves. Okay. Trying to decide how much potatoes we can bring down here. Look, I'm pulling out and you're the one honking the horn. Oh, we're buying that. We're buying that tractor. Been waiting on a good horsepower tractor to show up in the sales section. Raise the roof for the cloths. Zipper, you said you've been keeping busy playing other games. What you been playing? Okay. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Oh, yes. Do it. Do it. Wait. Okay, still there. Cyberpunk. How is Cyberpunk? Did you finish all the Christmas loads? Schultz is here. Schultz won a few games. At least he won one that I recall in our little giveaways. Welcome, Tattoo. You say used to, as in past tense. Have you moved on? A wheel is an excellent way to enhance the experience. Look what we own now. Alright, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to change our outfit. Because now we are classy. Are you telling me there's no class closing? It's gotta be a class hat. What? I've been gypped. Feel I've been gypped here. That's what I'd like to see more. I'd like to see clothing. Every DLC should include at least a hat for the included equipment. Oh my gosh, it only has 6 hours on it. This is a deal of a steal. Dan, we are all just sitting around. Oh, we gotta turn around. We're all just sitting around waiting, aren't we? That's what I thought. Okay, we need to pick something else up down here. We need to pick this up. Oh no, we just bought the JD. No, we're not buying JD. We just bought the class. You know why JD's never on sale? It's not because they never trade them in, because they're never worth buying after they've been used for a little bit. That's why. That's why. That's why you never see a John Deere here in Farm Sim on sale. They're destined for the parts bin. Ah, yes, the Outer Worlds. Hope everyone's able to pick that up on the Epic Store. What's up, Captain Kiwi? You can never have too many John Deere parts. That's right, Schultz. That is correct. You'll need every part you can get. Now, speaking of farm machinery, we're going to be talking a lot about the National Farm Machine Show in February, Louisville, Kentucky, because we will be going there in February. We were there last year, covered it a little bit, put out daily videos as I walk the floor. Hoping this year we're going to do a little bit more, video-wise, covering the show. Hopefully with the help of Raznak. Anybody that can make it down for the day lives in the area, we'd love to meet up with you at the show. After the show, Just genuinely hang out. Captain Kiwi lives south of the equator, everybody. That's why he's going to the beach in the middle of winter. He isn't one of those polar bear guys. Tattoo, I am not now. I was growing up. I haven't worked on a farm in close to 30 years. But that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy ourselves. I got two great signs for Christmas. One says you're never too old to play with crackers. That's true. That is a true statement. And the other one is kind of a mantra of the channel. You'll see a mantra of the channel that is farming's my chill. What's yours? Right? We've got some of those products in our store. Well, this sign reads, "And into the field I go to lose my mind and find my soul." And when I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's deep. That's farm sim for me. Right? We can just substitute. And I go into my virtual farm, my virtual fields, to just completely forget about life and just, you know, refocus, de-stress. So I've got that sign here in the office. "28C, a nice, cool 82 Fahrenheit day." Man. Yeah, you keep talking a place up, people are going to want to come live there, and it's not going to be a good place anymore. You gotta keep it secret. Well, we can get Tuki his own sign. It says drive fast, good. Oh, exactly, Tattoo. And I think that's why some people who, yeah, might make fun a little bit of the game, and then maybe they try it out, and then maybe they come secret farm sim players because of the relaxation to it, right? So, you know, when FS22 released, I think Battlefield 3 released, or whatever, one of those Battlefield games released soon after, and it was a complete crap fest. And there for a period of a week and a half, Farm Sim had more concurrent players than Battlefield, right? And that was some big gaming news. That this independent publisher farming game was outperforming this AAA title that everyone, well, air quote, everyone had been expecting and itching to play. But Battlefield was a complete crap fest. And some people that had been playing Battlefield, for whatever reason, picked up Farm Sim because they're like, I don't know, why are there 100,000 people playing Farm Sim, right? There's probably still some of those people still playing today because they realize that why are we playing stressful games? Why do we stress all day at work, then come home, and then stress all night trying to get the shots, trying not to get sniped on, dealing with people who are clearly not playing by the same rule set you play by, if they play by any rule set, right? Just get in our world, zone out. Well, there are a lot of vets. There are a lot of real-world vets that play Farm Sim. Again, I think it's probably a good therapy. Right, my kid will go, Dad, you like those peaceful games. But having fun with your wife, that's important too. Right? Do what you enjoy. The game will be here when you come back to it. And hopefully this time next year, we'll be enjoying a new title. Okay, that's all of our grain harvest. 3 small fields, really just enough to keep our chickens and pigs happy. Oh, it's hard work. Back when we were doing it, we had one tractor with a cab, and its air conditioning barely functioned. Right? I think it was able to blow not hot air, maybe mildly warm air only. All the other tractors were open cab. So if it was 95 outside, well then you're sitting on a tractor at 95-degree temps. Right? Wait, why do I still have grain in this thing? There we go. There we go. But you know what? It's great. Growing up, all I heard was, it builds character. It builds character. Right? You don't know what that means until much later in life. Then you kind of learn what builds character means. And yeah, I would agree. Oh, Hellhawk's like, I've got enough character. I don't need to build anymore. Okay. We can probably trade in our Beyond Agri tractor. We don't need 3. And this would allow us to upgrade more machinery too. Alright, these fields so close together, they really do not make good turns. So we're going to take some off the end here. Yeah, that does not sound like great work. All right. We'll just turn this around. This guy clearly will not mind. And we will make our way up here. So what? Illinois winters. It's cold. It's the wind. Is it the cold wind? Blowing snow. Snowdrifts. Oh, is that the one that bills you if you drive on somebody else's field? Oh, well, I mean... do this in like a nice wet winter. We're just going to completely ignore the fact that we're driving over potatoes. Hello? I have no idea why you're not unloading. Yeah, I had a fun time turning the digger around down here at the end with the crop destruction turned on. It can be tattoo, very much so, right? Things move at a different pace, but there are times where things are very fast-paced because, well, oftentimes agriculture waits on no one. When things are ready, things have to happen, right? Sometimes it's a whole lot of hurry up and wait. Then it's a whole lot of hurry up and do things. The key is to hopefully spread out the hurry up and do things. So about the time you get done one hurry up and do thing, you're able to start doing the other hurry up and do thing. That's what I try to do with my crops on this map, is pace out the crops such that every month between now and probably October, November, we're gonna have crops. So, right, we had our sorghum and potatoes. They were ready to harvest. Our parsnips will be ready next month. Then we will have our carrots are ready now too. Then we'll also have carrots ready. So we'll do our parsnips. The next month we'll do our carrots. And then the next month after that we'll have our red beets. No, parsnips, red beets, carrots. That's what we've got. So we've got, I can do parsnips, I can do red beets, and I can do carrots. And then we'll be done. So August is potatoes and sorghum. Parsnip will be September. Red beets October. Douglas and Eli, welcome. Welcome. And that reminds me, we haven't said our thank yous to Paul Nadon Jr. and Optimus. Thank you for being farm barons. They all have their own personalities for sure. I had one that when it wanted attention, it would come up and it would claw your arm just ever so gently so that you knew that you were being ever so lightly scratched. And if that didn't work, then it would ever so gently bite you. Again, not with any malice. It was just like, hello. I'm here. Aren't you going to do something about it? Now we have one that will come scratching at your arm. And if that doesn't work, it'll literally just lay its head on your arm. We've got one that comes upstairs. It mostly stays downstairs. We come upstairs when it's ready to have treats. And I think it's tried to train the wife to feed it treats when it comes upstairs. But she's turned around and she's taught all the cats we've got at the house to sit. She won't give a single cat a treat until it sits. And out here in the kitchen, it's like, all right, y'all want treats, y'all need to sit down. And then she'll start calling out the cat's names. You listened, you sat, here's your treat. And then the other cat, no, you can't have any treats until you sit. And then it sits and it's like, okay, now you can have a treat. Yeah, some are quiet, some are not, huh? Oh, the dog is just a giant bundle of way too damn hyper. The dog's like 110 pounds of... Would you calm the F down? Alright, I think we'll be ready to take that load down to the soup factory here soon. Simper Odd Dog does, yes. Because every cat has instructed the dog as to who's the boss. And as such, the dog just ignores them all. In fact, we've got one that likes to sleep on top of the dog crate. I think it's just to antagonize the dog. Like, you know, oh look, you're stuck in that crate. I'm just going to sleep on top of it, and when I want to, I'm just going to go wherever I want to go. There we go. Oh, the train almost is always better priced, yes. As far as sell points go, the train seems to always pay more. But I just don't want to deal with putting pallets on the train. Yeah, you're gonna put pallets on the train. You could have done that before. That's why there's a flatbed train car. The train sell point on Emerald Coast, or not Emerald Coast, Elm Creek takes everything. Pretty sure the train sell point on all Giants maps basically takes all products. Well, Chilliwack. One, I don't think Chilliwack had a train, did it? And two, you talk about a mod map, that's different. Who's to say if the map author configured his map to sell products, to sell pallets at a train? Right, everything's off the table when you start talking about mod maps. But if we look here, Erlengrot, where is it? Erlengrot is the train sell point, right? So you're going to see Erlengrot is all of your grains other than grapes are going to go to Erlengrot. Erlengrot will take eggs, wool, and logs, right? Erlengrot will accept all of, if not most of, the baker of the base game productions. And Erlengrot will accept the premium expansion productions and crops. And in just about every instance, the train will be a higher price. Oh, someone needs to put a bigger engine in this thing. Go back and look at Elm Creek. Go back and look at Holt by the Rune. Look at Erlengrot. Look at Silver Run Forest. No. No. You know his stance on that. Realism dictates that a farmer wouldn't be driving a train. There could be a sell point at the train, right? But a farmer wouldn't be able to just hop on a train. Apparently the that Iowa map, apparently there you can drive that train, but apparently the map doesn't have a train sell point. So it's like put products on the train, but there's no way to get products off the train. You might get him dropped off, but he doesn't drive them off. Oh, it'd be so cool on. It'd be so cool on Giants maps if during the winter or during Christmas it was a Christmas train. That would be so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna message him about something else. What was I gonna message him about? Oh, I want them to take the required mods mechanic, so a map maker can flag mod hub mods as required, right? So if you try to load the map up without the required mods, it basically stops you and provides you with a way of downloading said required mods. I want to pitch to Giants that they extend that functionality to non-mod hub mods and allow a mapper to plug in a URL that will basically be downloaded and put into their mod folder for non-mod hub mods. Now there is some security implications there. So maybe it will require Giants to think outside the box on how they can do a little bit of sanity checking. That it's just not just downloading junk. But so then map makers can flag Mod Hub mods and non-Mod Hub mods as required, and then doesn't have to have the gamer, the player, go out and source those in. The mapper doesn't have to make a mod pack of all of these things to make it easier for the player to go get, because the map will just pull them all in. But it can open up a little bit of a security problem, because you have the game going out and downloading something, right? It's one thing to download it from the Mod Hub, which would have some level of sanity already checked that it's not pulling down malware. But where there is a will, there is a way for someone to figure out a mechanic to have that work. What's up, Kerbo? What's up? There's a fairy tale. What I found funny, Schultz, is there's some mods on the Mod Hub that have your sell everything as a required mod. And it's like, what? Did they not go and code up their own sell points? Now, the Candlein map, right, that one had a lot of required mods. And apparently half of those, at least half of those required mods, are by the same author as the map himself. So he should have, by the way I understand the whole process, he should have been able to incorporate those into his map without any issue. But instead, that map has, let's say, 12 required mods, and let's say 8 of those 12 are his own work. Makes one believe that really he's only trying to pad his own pockets by basically saying every download of the map is also a guaranteed download of my other work. And that's gaming the system a little bit much. Everybody's allowed to earn money. Every business is allowed to be profitable. It's just the level of profits need to be within check. And instead of getting, say, 50,000 downloads for the map, you get 50,000 downloads for all 8 of your mods and the map. Well, I mean, his buildings are pretty synonymous with maybe Northern European farm architecture. I don't know. I mean, they seem to be listed a lot in those Dutch maps. Those Netherlands maps, you know, I don't know what you call that, Northern Europe, what geographic region that is. Even some German maps, right? I mean, you know, okay use mods is... I don't know, I think you just have to find the niche. You're always going to have far more European maps in the mod hub than American maps. So European style buildings would have a greater likelihood of finding their way in there. A European hog confinement building, right? A European cattle yard, I don't know. Well, I mean, you look, Vertex Designs, those timber buildings, right? Just have to make a quintessential placeable that you know, fits the stereotypical bill of needing to be in everything. That the player doesn't add just because the map maker didn't put a sell point in for everything, right? Because then I'm just downloading it once, and I'm just activating it all the time. I mean, heck, you could come out with the 2023 variant of your mod, and then a couple months into 2024, release the 2024 variant as its whole different mod. That's been a nasty trend. Oh, look, here's the map that came out last year, but here's the 22 version. That's slightly different. Alright, catch you later, Captain Kiwi. Ah, the slow process of collecting our potatoes. I am still open to suggestions on maps for 2024. Like I said, I figured this map would run me through the year, but I don't see continuing Zielonka too far into 2024. No, not American Falls. I don't think so. Farm Sim Connect. Well, Schultz, I think by now it's been played out. Plus, I really am not all that interested in a map that was released, unreleased, and then re-released after enough people said, "Oh, please, please, we love your work. Please don't take it away from us forever." Smoke, what's up? I'll have to just go back and look at my playlist, see if anything stands out. I even went and looked at LS Farming just to see if there was maybe an update on Hoff Bergman I didn't know about. Nah, I'm worried that the fields are going to be too big. I have zero interest in working any field that's going to take me 5 or 6 hours to do anything in. So 16X Nebraska lands is going to be more scaled to real life. Those fields are going to be massive. I mean, for the player that doesn't mind spending 8 hours to do one thing on a field, that's fine. Or to the player that wants to play logistics manager and have 5 or 6 hired helpers, or have Courseplay running 5 or 6 different things. That's fine. Well, Simper, I don't like having you guys on the hook, right? Like, we might stream, we might not stream. I don't know. It depends on what happens. And then, you know, by noon or 1 p.m. my time, I may or may not know if Giants has released a map or not. And if they have, then I'm going to have to focus on that. If they haven't, then we could stream, right? Some days I'm envious of creators that just play, right? Whatever happens on the mod hub doesn't matter. Doesn't change their day at all. Maybe they'll activate a mod and try to use it in their stream. But other than that, right? Their day's unchanged because of something that's happened on the mod hub. I gotta figure out what. So we can probably put another 150,000 in here. That's 325. So I'm guessing this thing holds 500. That's the same why I've gone away from doing, you know, having a farm on a multiplayer server. Because all great plans can come to a screeching halt. Depending on what happens with the mod hub releases. We all just need to stage a walkout. Calvin, what's up? What would it be? A union of virtual itinerant farm workers? Are you going on strike requesting a pay raise of virtual currency? I mean, Schultz could pay you in Farm Sim merch. I'm surprised he doesn't have uniforms using the wardrobe mod, and everyone's required to wear their color-coded uniform. It's probably bright orange. It has a number on the back. Yeah. There's been a couple map releases as of late that were clearly rushed. Rushed through testing. Possibly rushed through building. Oh, we're full. Oh, I know, Hellhawk. Like, there was a, so, Dairy Deer in the Discord has a Google Drive folder. I think it's Dairy Deer. A Google Drive file that he shared out about holiday mod releases. And I saw there was like a square body GMC Chevy pickup. And I was like, oh, what's that? So I went and looked at it. And then I saw it was like 300 megabytes, and I just stopped. And I was like, why? 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 And I didn't bother downloading it. Because I'm like, why? So I was just like, no, it's not going to be something I'm going to add in, and as a result, it's going to negatively impact performance because it's got way too many polys or whatever. Right, one mod should not be bigger than some maps. Well, Curvo, there for a while you and Mark were digging through the rusty, dirty Russian stuff. Rusty, dirty Russian equipment. So I said, I don't know. Maybe the truck's awesome. I got turned away at the file size. Oh, Calvin, you know how many mods I've got installed on this game save? I'll let you guess. How many mods do you think I have active in this game save? I just looked. Yeah, it's like this computer needed to be sanitized after going there. More than one. More than one. No. No. How about 16? 16 mods and DLCs. Well, there's 2 vehicle or implement mods. The rest are scripts. Yeah, Schultz is a mod hoarder. Schultz is about to run out of mod space from GPortal. You'll have to run his own dedicated server next. You'll have to rent a server from GPortal. Not a game server, but an actual server So then he can have, you know, all the mod space that the drive has capability of holding. Hellhawk, I really don't have a must play with list, right? I'll see some creators, they'll get massive hits on these mods I have active in every game save, and it's like the 20 mods you can't live without. I can live without all of them, but typically easy dev controls is, well, that was an interesting one. Easy dev controls is going to be there. Guidance steering is probably going to be there, but there's been times I've forgotten to add that. We're not using it on this map, but usually precision farming will be there, just because I enjoy using that. Let's see, what are we using in here? So right, we have universal auto load. That's a pretty good one. If you're gonna do anything with pallets or bales. Right, we're doing the Grimmy pack because of our potato work. Oh, I've got Carpathian Countryside in here, so it's not even 15, 16. It's 15. Follow Me is a good one, although I almost always forget that one. I added Changing Wages. That was a mod that came out soon after we started playing on this map, and I wanted to just give it a try. That changes how much money you get from contracts. Sometimes you get good money, sometimes you don't get any good money. Object storage is good, although I haven't used it. I put it down, but I haven't used it. Universal autoload add-on. If you're gonna have universal autoloads, you might have this one. Then that really, these are only there because they're in my mod testing mod folder, right? And I just left them here. Storage space is not a problem. Storage space is not a problem. We just don't have a need for them. Walter, I think they haven't added GPS to the base game is because they're probably working on trying to refine the gameplay controls for console, for controller. We know it's on their feature list. They've all but said that in some FS22 pre-release interviews. So I suspect it's quite possibly we could see it in the next farm sim if they figure out how to basically make the controls intuitive for a console controller player. I mean, even guided steering, right? There's just so many options here. Is it left bumper, right bumper, you know, left shoulder, square does this? And I don't know how console players can keep track with what all the combinations do. But in all reality, there's only so many combinations you got. Versus a keyboard that's got 110 literal keys on it. And if it's implemented base game, there shouldn't need to be a whole bunch of vehicle updates. All right, Kerbo, catch you later. Anytime you want to come by, obviously you're more than welcome, right? More forestry equipment than all of the platinum expansion stuff. Well, Walter, that's not Giants. That's on Sony and Microsoft. Can you take a keyboard and mouse and plug it into a PS5 right now? Irregardless of what game you're playing? That's why you see wheels. You'll see wheel and pedal sets released for PlayStation. You'll see wheel and pedal sets released for Xbox. Very rarely will you see the same wheel and pedal set released for both. Childish competitiveness is what it is. Right? But any Xbox wheel can be used on PC. Any PlayStation wheel can be used on PC. But heaven forbid you have an Xbox and a PlayStation and you want to buy one wheel? Probably not happening. That's not on the wheel manufacturer. That's on Sony and Microsoft. That's why Sony still has game exclusives. Pretty much anything released on Xbox is going to be available for PC also. Sony holds tight to their exclusives to give you a reason why you have to buy a PlayStation, other than just brand loyalty. Sony's not the new Apple. Sony was doing this before Apple was doing this. Sony's just replicating what Nintendo started. And quite frankly, it could have happened before Nintendo. In my opinion, Nintendo was the very first closed platform, and still is a closed platform. And then Sony basically had a deal with Nintendo back in the 90s to make a disc-based Nintendo. That deal fell through. Nintendo basically said, F you, I will put you out of business, and came out with the original PlayStation. And they have been fighting basically like little valley girls since. So Sony's lockdown platform is simply learned from Nintendo. Apple learned from Nintendo and Sony, if you will, to lock down their stuff. I've talked about this book in the past. It's a really great book to either listen to or read to give you insight into the early growth of the video game console market. It's called Console Wars. It's all about the Nintendo Sega fight for sales and players back in the 90s, basically. All about the original Nintendo, the Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, possibly even Game Boy. And basically the book closes with this Sony Nintendo deal going south, and Nintendo basically, or Sony, releasing their first PlayStation. But it gives really great insight on how Nintendo ran business, how Sega ran business, how they were pretty polar opposites from a business model standpoint. So, for example, Nintendo games, if, let's say, Giants was developing a Nintendo game, okay? Giants would have to buy the game cartridges from Nintendo. Then they would put their game ROM on the game cartridge. Then Nintendo would decide where to sell the Giants' game. Nintendo would decide the quantities to ship and where to ship them to. As a developer, the only thing you had was creating your game. After that, you didn't have any ownership of anything. If you wanted your product to sell in the United States, but Nintendo didn't, then your product didn't sell in the United States. Right? If for some reason you got on Nintendo's bad side, they could basically decide to not push your product because, you know, they literally held every card in the book. It sounds a lot like Apple, doesn't it? Bubbatron, thank you for the sub. So, yeah, it's worth a read. It's worth a listen to if you like audiobooks. Console Wars gives you a really good insight into the mindset. You know, I've said it before. When you buy a Sony PlayStation, when you buy an Xbox, when you buy a Nintendo, the Switch, right? You're basically paying for the right to use their product. How they want you to use it, for as long as they want you to be able to use it. They still all control the cards. They decide what games get released on it. They decide basically when your games get released. They decide what you can do with their platform. Right? You don't have access to the file system. I don't think there's a big market in rooting PlayStations. I don't hear about that a lot. But they have their place, right? I'm not saying consoles are evil. They have their place, hands down. For someone that just wants to come home, sit on the couch, turn their console on and play, there you go. Right? How many times has a PC player come home, sat down, wanted to do something, and then it just doesn't work right because something happened, something was updated. And then you spend the evening figuring out what happened. Why don't I have sound? Well, I don't have sound because Windows had an update, and for some reason it changed my sound device. Right? Why is my mic not working? Because Windows did an update, right? So, they have their place. But, yeah, I think folks should understand that they're buying a closed platform. The classic, I don't know what version of Apple iPhone it was, but when they changed the iPhone design and they had basically put the antenna on the outside of the phone, and there were two little grooves at the top of the phone that would basically separate the antenna from, you know, the rest of the metal body or whatever. And people were having reception problems, and Apple's answer was, you're holding it wrong. Hello? You're telling me I'm holding my phone wrong, and that's why your product doesn't work? Because I'm holding it incorrectly? I need to watch an instructional video on how to hold my phone? How about you design a product that just works? It doesn't rely on someone have to hold it a specific way. So, a couple weeks later, they come out with these little silicone bumpers that you put on the outside of your phone, and you can hold it however you darn well want. And it doesn't impact your antenna signal. Oh, well, there's actually an interesting story in that Console Wars book about EA. So, I don't know how many of you all had a Sega Genesis growing up. I did. And EA cartridges had this little plastic tab. It was often yellow or green in the upper right corner if you're looking at the label. And a lot of people, including myself, thought, oh, maybe there's like a memory chip behind that or something, but I don't know. I could never get the tab to come out to see what was behind that tab. Well, it turns out that all of those cartridges were basically, if I'm remembering my story right, this is before EA became the evil overlord that they are now. Basically turns out that those little tabs were basically denoting a counterfeit Genesis cartridge. That EA was manufacturing their own cartridges and put that in there to, I guess, get around the not the copyright, but get around the, I guess, the patent that was the Genesis game cartridge. so they could manufacture their own cartridges. But that was EA of 30 years ago. Not the EA of modern day. Let's figure out how to monetize everything. We've already sold the game to the player. Let's keep selling the game to the player every time they load it up. Yeah, like I said, that was before EA became the evil overlords that no one likes. I don't know where my mind went. At one point I headed to college, and then I don't remember anything else. Like, I'm sure it went somewhere. I know outside of college, I remember a housemate of mine. He owned the house. I was basically renting space in the house. He had an original PlayStation, and he would play hold on. Resident Evil. He would play the original Resident Evil on PlayStation. Raccoon City, all that. And I would just watch. That would be an entire night. Would just be him playing Resident Evil, and I would just sit and watch. And then he had Diablo, the original. Again, PlayStation, the original. And we would do Diablo 2-player runs, which back in the day was just meaning that there were double the enemies to kill, double the loot to drop. Those darn proprietary memory cards. All right, Calvin, catch you later. Okay. Just checking. We probably could get by without planting potatoes again. Because if I fill up that factory, it's not gonna run through all those potatoes in 1 year. Because the carrots were full. And you can see where they are. Carrots will probably be halfway by the time our carrots are ready to harvest. Maybe. So I think if we fill our products maybe about to 250,000, then we'll take the rest up here to our preserves factory. Then we should really start earning money. See what else is for sale. Oh, nothing good. So where are we? Halfway done this field. Probably won't be streaming anymore on this map until Sunday night. Sunday night we're doing our New Year's Eve, our New Year's celebration live stream. And we'll be doing 2 hours of American Truck Sim and then 2 hours of Farm Sim. I'll have this saved up in multiplayer. I'll have folks on helping me with the root crop harvest. Tomorrow night, we're going to be probably just chilling out the house. Friday, we have Friday Night Forza. Saturday night, we're doing multiplayer Baldur's Gate 3. Like I said, we'll be back Sunday night for our ATS and Farm Sim live streams. One long live stream, 8 p.m. Eastern until about 12:30 or so Eastern time. We'll try to ring in the new year. I'll be keeping an eye out for straw harvest. I've been hoping, thinking, wanting that to release. Creative Mesh teased it pretty good just for FarmCon. I thought we were maybe getting it at FarmCon. Nope, we got the emergency pack instead. Still kind of sour about that. And up until then, right, it was supposedly coming in 2023. Well, we literally have just a few days left in 2023. Not a lot of time for it to still come. But still possible. Still possible. Every day I boot up Giants Mod Hub, check a couple times just to see if it drops. I thought it might come Christmas Day. Nope. Thought it might come the day after Christmas. Nope. Thought it might be today. Nope. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. Probably not. At this point, I'm thinking maybe it'll drop Sunday, December 31st, the last possible day before the new year. Or it just won't happen. I heard they were demoing it at the Krone booth at Agritechnica, so it is definitely exists. I've seen photos of it at the Agritechnica booth. And that was just last month, right? So we'll see. Maybe I'll drop January 1st, 2024. It'll be a New Year's gift. Or New Year's present. At this point, we all think, just release it already. Yeah, Richard, it was at the Krone booth. Krone was, Krone had a station set up where you could use it. I heard that from some folks that were there. Oh, how many more loads do you think we got here? I mean, rumor has it that the placeable building is there too. Dwayne, what's up? You're coming right here at the end. I mean, we had the big square baler, Krone. We had then, I think there were 2 round balers that were Krone equipment in the original straw harvest. Oh no, we had the Krone pellet press. So we had a round baler, we had the pellet press, and the square baler. I kind of liked using that pellet press in standalone format. The square bale conveyor belt. Well, I mean, things can always be scheduled. Who's they? Just checking we're good on fuel. Well, I mean, Richard. Oh, okay, create a mesh. I'll say we have still several months the potential for a some sort of crone DLC. Yeah, I think that's going to be the tail of the tape, right? If they announce a small Season 3 pass, that kind of is very indicative of a new game coming in the fall. Do you announce a Season Pass that's small first, or do you just announce that there's a new game coming and then later announce the Year 3 Season Pass, which is going to include, you know, let's say 3 things? Because announcing a Season Pass, it's short. All but confirms a new game coming in the fall. And does that then diminish the actual game announcement release when it happens? Because, well, yeah, everyone already knew about it, right? Or do you drop the ball, announce the new game, and then you have a second announcement at some point about a small Year 3 Season Pass that, you know, may or may not be diminished because, well, it either is or isn't coming, right? March 19th. Well, I mean, you know, it would be probably named Farm Sim 25, right? So are there any Tuesday 25ths toward the end of the year next year? Probably not. So I don't know if we'll have a magic, you know, release day of the 25th for 25. Well, I'm pretty sure there's at least 4 Tuesdays in November 2024. But do any of them have a 25 in it? Oh, there's a Monday, November 25th. Christmas next year is on a Wednesday. There's a 22nd and a 29th of October. So, yeah. Next year is a leap year. And on leap years are election years here in the States. And I believe every leap year is also when they have the Summer Olympics. So that's how I know when leap years are. Those are election years. And also when we have Summer Olympics. Oh, you're just deciding now, Hellhawk, you couldn't do single row collecting of potatoes? I think it's gift, not transfer. And you need to explanation point it. Without the explanation point, the bot doesn't know that you're trying to issue it a command. And I think it's gift. And I'm pretty sure you have to @ the person. It's really just the user. Oh, Hellhawk, we're almost done. But technically this isn't single row because the digger was 2 rows. See, look, there you go. If you listen to the directions as opposed to trying to go rogue. No, you're not using the right syntax. We are, look, we are driving between them. See? Between them. And it's going to go in the soup anyway. So it really doesn't matter. So maybe, just maybe, you need to write that down for next time. I mean, it's not that bad, given that the cost to do this, right? So we used this 16,000 to dig them up, and this 88.5 to collect them. We could have used this $200,000, right? More than double, to do it the old-fashioned way. With base game stuff. Before I went and bought this cloth, I was trying to play within my financial means. I do have a loan taken out. I wouldn't want to pay that off. Lease. I had to lease this collector. I'm gonna have to lease the root crop harvester we're gonna use again this year. See? Summer Olympics. Leap year. Every leap year we have a Summer Olympics. Every leap year there's an election in the United States. That's just the way it works. And then we will have the Winter Olympics, right, midway through the presidential cycle. Generic J, what's up? I mean, Burgess, you could just look at it like, I'm going to be more productive this year because of the extra days. So I'm just going to take it a little bit easier the 365 other days to make up for it. I did not run out of potatoes last year. I did the first year, but not this year. And if I was continuing to play on the map, I probably would not plant potatoes next year because I'm not going to need them. So you can see where we're at, 340,000 liters. I think we were down about here before we started harvesting. I feel like the soup factory can go probably 2 years if you fill it up. Yep, 2026, Winter Olympics. Next leap year, 2028, will be Summer Olympics again. And then 2030, Winter Olympics again. 2032, another election year, another Summer Olympics. Yeah, I mean, I earn about $30,000 a month on just soup production on hard. Los Angeles is the city of homeless right now. So you can make a pretty good fortune on soup. Right, let's look at our financials. Right, where are we at? Sold products. 72,000, 14,000, 67,000. That's all soup. Delilah, I think they are mostly associated with a farmhouse and a garage. I suspect if you excluded that farmhouse and garage, then you would be good. From a Lua standpoint, there are still more errors and warnings in there. Hopefully it gets an update. Once the map authors had a chance to have a little bit of a holiday break. But I've also been told that even though you can rent the train, there apparently is not a train sell point. So I would advise against loading any product into the train lest you go and discover you have no way of getting your product back out. Although I think I remember some placeable train sell points in the mod hub. Or I might be remembering a map that had placeable train sell points. The line directly above the very first Lua error would be the mod that it came from. It's like a toilet vanity in like a log cabin farmhouse or something. Alright, so there is a train transfer pack. So the question is, who here was alive when the Olympics were last in Los Angeles? 1980. Who here was alive? Raise your hand if you're sure. I can't find the hand emote at the moment. Oh, it's okay, Aussie Roo. You're amongst cohorts if you do wish to raise your hand. This channel attracts an older audience that isn't about the quick, fast buck. When asked why I don't do fast farming, I say, farming's my chill. Why do I want to do that fast? Why do I want to get my chill over fast? I want to savor it. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to rush and get my chill done so I can go back and do something stressful. Right? Yes, I'm fully aware that I could harvest this unrealistically, ridiculously fast and be done in 15 minutes. During the la capades. The LA Coliseum. How the Olympics have grown. in that time frame is crazy. Far more countries, far more athletes per country, far more sports or events. It wasn't the 80 Olympics, but I don't know, maybe it was the 84 Olympics. Maybe it was the 88 Olympics, but I had the idea that I was going to record the Olympics on VHS tape. Yeah, that was not possible. Not within the financial means of a child. Oh, I thought 80 was LA. I think they were gonna. I think it was gonna be a trial sport, esports. I think the way that works is it's like a trial sport for one Olympics, and then depending on how it goes, it may become a real sport in the next. Alright, that's gonna wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching our live stream tonight. Like I said, tomorrow night we're just going to be chilling. Nothing planned. Friday night is Forza Friday over on the Funhouse channel. It is our secondary channel. Explanation FK's Funhouse for a link to that. Saturday night we're going to be doing Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer. That is offline. And Sunday night is going to be a special American Truck Simulator Convoy night over here on this channel, as we're going to be doing a New Year's live stream from 8 p.m. Eastern Sunday night until 12:30 or so Monday morning, New Year's Day, ringing in the new year at the top of every hour with a little special celebration. We'll do a couple hours of ATS and then a couple hours of multiplayer farm sim to close out 2023 and bring in 2024. And until next time, happy farming.